What's up, guys? It's Redcon here today, and today I want to show you what port forwarding is. In my airplate video, if you didn't see that, go check it out. That will kind of give you more of an explanation why I'm doing this, is because port forwarding is a huge thing that a lot of people don't know what it means. And so the videos that I put out is kind of for people that really don't know much, but they want to get started somewhere, and they want to start doing some cool stuff besides just playing games or something. You know, just a little bit more. Games are really fun. I mean, you can see on my desktop a little bit. But what I really wanted to show you is what port forwarding really is. So, in port forwarding, you always have a public IP address. And that public IP address is basically the one IP address of your house, or where you live. So you think of that as your name. So let's name the public IP address Bill. So say someone yells at Bill. We'll say the internet yells at Bill, and they say code 303. The code 303 can mean AirPlay, which is an app for streaming video. So we named him Bill. Bill says, okay, you gave me code 303. I will connect you to 303. Say that's a name in your computer system is 303. This is just an example. This is not really like the actual names and words of things. So it would connect you, and it basically just makes a bridge connection. So port forwarding says it basically allows certain applications to get past the firewall, or the security system, in other terms. So what port forwarding does is basically you go here and you type in the name. It has nothing to do. I mean, you could just name random numbers. It really doesn't matter. So we'll just name it YouTube. And so the external port is what's getting yelled at Bill. Bill is our router. And so say Bill gets yelled 303. Okay? But we want anything that comes in on 303 to be on port 400. So Bill says, okay, you gave me the port 303. I'm going to put it on 400 because that's what I'm supposed to do. That means, say you have an application like AirPlay, which is for streaming video, and it's on port 400. But you already have something on port 400 for your external port. So you change that to 303. So say you have another application. Actually, we'll take away YouTube and we'll put it at AirPlay. Say you have another thing called YouTube. And YouTube is spelled wrong. So you have another thing called YouTube. And that comes in on port 400 and leaves on port 400. So say you have two internal ports that are exactly the same. You need to make those different. Say YouTube and AirPlay are kind of the same application, so they both go on the same internal port. What happens is when Bill gets yelled at 400, he says, okay, I'll give it to YouTube. When he gets yelled at 303, he says, okay, I'll give it to AirPlay. If you put these both at 400, it won't know what to do, and it won't let you. So that's basically how port forwarding works. It comes in on one port, and then the router determines which port it needs to go on, what port it actually needs to go to. And so it goes, okay, I'm getting yelled at 303. I'm going to put at 400, and then protocol, don't worry about that, and I'm going to send it to this computer. The 2 IP address, that is the local computer in your network. So let's say that's called 90. So the router's getting yelled at 303, and it's saying, okay, I know that needs to be at 400. So it says 400. It doesn't get confused with these two because it's already made like a bridge and a tunnel. It already knows that that's a connection. And it says, okay, we're going to throw you over to computer 0.9, 192.168.1.9. We'll call that computer Steve. And then you just enable it. That is literally what port forwarding is. So as long as you know your public IP address, which I'll get into more later, you can have a bunch of stuff connect inside your local network. So you don't want to memorize your public IP address. It's this huge long line of numbers. So why don't we go into DNS Dynamic? I think I'm spelling that wrong. Dynamic.com. Org. Sorry, that is not right. Okay, so this is DNSDynamic.org, and basically you sign up, and once you sign up, which I need to log in. I'm just logging in here, guys. That's why it's blurred out. Okay. So we're gonna add a new domain. Basically, the domain, all it's doing is it's saying, okay, this guy doesn't want to remember his public IP address because your public IP address will change sometimes. So basically, what this does is it goes, okay, whenever someone asks for whatever we're gonna put in here, it goes, okay, what's that public IP address again? And it's just a bridge to bridge you through. So say we want to make an AirPlay server, and we want to put DNSDynamic.com. So we can put an AirPlay, and it may or may not be available. We can check it. Oh, look, it is available. So we go add. They're gonna be blurred out a little bit, so that is fine. Okay, we're gonna go to add. So ours is at the top here, and it says airplay.dnsdynamic.com. Basically what that does is it says, okay, when we type in that name into, say, our AirPlay it on our iPhone, that's like another name for our public IP address. So instead of having to type in, like, say, 85.105.92.199, all we have to put in is airplay.dnsdynamic.com, and that is a lot easier to remember than all those numbers. Plus, those numbers might change sometimes. So all we have to remember is that one, and that will connect you to more stuff in your house. So how would we write this out so that it knows what port to go on? Well, simple. Let's go to Notepad. We would type it in like this: airplay.dnsdynamic.com. Yes, it is .com. And then we go colon, and we put that port for what? What did we put that? 303. And we go 303. So now it knows if we put that in to our AirPlay app on our iPhone, and we put that in, the airplay.dnsdynamic.com is just another name for our public IP address, which that translates into our public IP address, and then that 303 comes over and says, hey, I'm 303. Then it just keeps going until it gets to .90, and that's how you make a connection between two devices. Anywhere in the world they have internet connection. So that is what port forwarding is. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel.